Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to review Game Week 2 of the 2025-26 Fantasy Premier League season. So as you can see, I scored 44 points this week, which was in the 7 millions for the Game Week round, and has actually seen me move backwards, I believe. Yep, red arrow there, all the way down to 7.8 million. Below average yet again, so a slow start to the season. But in goal we had Kelleher get a 5-point return, which was okay. The yellow card cost him a point. We did have Dubravka on the bench get 6, so we did slightly miss out there. Juve with 3 points was pretty good, considering that they conceded 5 goals, so 3 points for the assist there, which was nice. To Kuiper, an even 0. Wan-Bissaka also a 0. So I think, so a couple of goals conceded and a yellow card for De Kuiper. We did get a bit lucky with Van de Ven, who was on our bench, but did jag a clean sheet against Man City, and Palmer was unavailable, so Van de Ven slipped in there. Salah, so a last minute assist from him for the young fella Nagamua, I think is how you say his name. Got the goal. It was pretty. I did catch the tail end of that game, so I was up and about. So it did save us a little bit there from disaster, because Reinders blanked, Minter blanked, Wirtz also blanked. Gyökeres was good though, 2 goals for him. I guess importantly taking the penalties, so that worked out well with 12, and another blank for Ollie Watkins. On the bench, Strand Larsen 2 points, and Reynildo actually scoring 3 thanks to defensive contributions. Well done, legend, for that. Good stuff at 4 million. So in the league, I can just see my ranks slid down to 18th. So another defeat this week, this time to Shano's Guns with a 46-point return. So he had Van de Ven and Esteve on clean sheets. Kukurea with an assist, I believe. Yep. Was that a clean sheet? Yeah, nice. Had Captain Salah as well, so that's fine. And Dye got a goal for Shane as well, which is pretty handy. Not sure who his substitute was, so Van de Ven in, so that worked out nicely also. But if we go back to the league, so not a lot of high scores this week. Looks like Akash's team, Unlucky Ali with a 61 was the highest this week. So Jack Grealish with an 11-point return. Captain Gyökeres, so that was pretty clever. I guess against Leeds it probably made sense in hindsight. Saka scored a goal, but looks like he's a chance of missing next week with a hamstring injury, so just one to be mindful of. And does have Frimpong and Palmer on the bench, so well done there, Ali. Or Akash, I should say. I was reading the team name for that. I'll just double check I didn't miss anyone else. I think so. Yeah, lots of 50s and a few 40s. So the standings after the 2 weeks. So Sharb out in front, thanks to his 114 total. And all the way down. So 18 out of 18. Unlucky for me. But interestingly, Zip 03, Robert's team, 117 points, but 0 and 2. So that's a pretty unfortunate start, Rob. But sitting 2 mil overall, so doing well compared to my start. João Pedro was good this week. Salah, Van de Ven, Dubravka in goal. So not so bad. So transfers this week. Obviously, we probably need to look to start doing something. We've got 2 free transfers, but it's one of those things. Where do we start? So, we could chase the points from Calafiori and Timber. So, what did he end up scoring this week? 24 points all in 1 week. That is unreal. But the Arsenal run coming up is pretty tough. So, I don't know if we want Arsenal defence. I guess the one option that I am looking at is on the next page, I'm assuming. And that is Jed Spence. So 4.5 million, 12 points to start, off the back of a couple of clean sheets. I haven't tracked the defensive contribution, so 6 and 3. But that run coming up is pretty handy. Thomas Frank looks like he's got them pretty organised defensively. So I am thinking something like a Wan-Bissaka out for Spence. But then I guess potentially as well we could look to make a move in the midfield. So Minter and Wirtz have already gone down in price, unfortunately, which does make it hard. Like Richarlison at 6.7 looks like he's the starter for the near future. So do we downgrade Watkins or Gyökeres, as we said, has a tricky start, but yeah, does he potentially lose value in the coming weeks with that? I think Watkins has the better start, which is why we put him in the team. So what do we got? So Cullen, a $5 million midfielder at Burnley. If we go to page 2, we could look at Grealish as well. So 6.5, so not the cheapest. We wouldn't be able to slot him in. We'd have to consider getting rid of Wirtz, and they've got a couple of tricky ones coming up. Arsenal, Chelsea game week 7. Haven't watched it. Well, I guess I've only watched the tail end of both games. He's probably been subbed off by the time I've been able to watch. So, yeah, but there is some XG and XA there, so I think it is worthwhile holding potentially. His time will come. I guess we can't do too much with Minter. Does have a bit of a tricky run coming up, so probably wasn't the smartest decision to start with him, if I'm being completely honest. So then it's a question of who do we get for him, because we're probably looking at a 5.5 given we've got no budget. I guess if we did want to lean into the Spurs thing, we could look at Sarr. He's only 5 mil, so that would actually free up a bit of cash, which would be handy to distribute elsewhere potentially. I guess the other thing as well is, what is Palmer doing with this injury? So, yeah, so like I said, we do like Spurs run. So Bournemouth, West Ham, who are struggling. Brighton have been a bit slow to start, and then Wolves and Leeds are a couple of nice fixtures. 0.9, that doesn't quite get us to Pedro Porro, does it? No, 5.5 we need, so we're 0.1 off there. Is it too early for a wild card? Because I guess if we did go down the wild card route, let's see what this would look like. So we'll probably be looking at Porro. I mean, in terms of what we would do, maybe Wirtz would have to make way. So we could then look at, I guess let's go back to the first page. We can get on someone who's a bit hot. Like a Semenyo's been in good form. What did he get today? An assist, 6 points. Decent enough fixtures. Tottenham and Newcastle aren't the easiest, but there's a lot of tough ones in the league. So with Cullen, yeah, it's a tough run coming up. I think he'll go up in cash and then drop back down just as quick. um, guess if we're gonna go, no, I've already got the 3. So I guess maybe if we went with a Curtis as a more attacking, or do we want to look at Richarlison in place of Strand Larson maybe? Is he the attacker we want from Spurs? So 13 mil. Enzo. Goal and an assist today. But that was probably without Palmer, so... midfielders. So I guess, yeah, if we look at midfielders, then we could go Grealish 6.5, and that gives us another 6.5 option. So it's just a matter of who is the option. I mean, Sarr now with Eze gone could be the main man. I think he scored this week. A bit of a up and down fixture, but we could probably ride the wave. And Dye got a goal today. Oscar Bob's an interesting one. Has started both games, and I do like him, but yeah, don't trust Pep enough on doing well, putting Reinders in my team. Probably be something like a Sarr. So that's so we definitely have boosted up in defence. Probably I think Grealish is a decent enough option, and Richarlison up front I think is a good shout too. So we probably have upgraded the team there with the wild card, but you know we're probably not going to commit to those trades just yet. Have a bit more of a think about it, but I guess assuming everything stays the same this week, we'll probably bench De Kuiper for Van de Ven. I mean, Wan Bissaka we do want to get rid of, but he might have to play this week. And then it might be Minter against Man City getting the week off, although Man City haven't been the most defensively astute to start the season. Yeah, so they did keep a clean sheet against Wolves, so I'll give them that. But we could do something like that for this week. Don't really have much on the captaincy either with these two playing each other, so might just leave it as is. But yeah, that's probably enough for this video. As I said, I haven't thought too deeply about transfers, so it's something I'll go away and do. But I do like Spurs coming up. I don't know if I want to do the wild card just yet, but it doesn't hurt sometimes to. Now I've got a bit of information to refresh the team. But yeah, if there's any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the Fantasy Premier League content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.